We're joined right now on RailerCulture.com by Reg Schmidt. He is the General Manager of Feeder Associations of Alberta. Welcome today, Reg.
Yes, thank you very much, Sean. Glad to be with you today.
Reg, in the last couple of weeks, you've had a rather big announcement for Feeder Associations Alberta. What is the new program?
Well, it is an opportunity to do some pilot projects. We have in the pipeline, and this is the first of a series of announcements that are going to be toward the Feeder Associations of Alberta to make the Feeder Association program more competitive and more relevant to members in Alberta. So this latest announcement is, the first one is the opportunity to do some pilot projects around doing equity draws on livestock finance by feeder members. Historically, livestock had to be purchased by the members, and they didn't get any cash back until the livestock were sold and the loan was repaid. And in some situations, in many situations, that could be 6 to 8 months if there are small calves going out a long ways. And not having cash flow has made feeder associations very uncompetitive to other programs and not fair to our members who are generally cash-strapped after a few months of feeding the cattle.
Yes, so is this in reaction to a lot of the Schedule I banks maybe cutting back on the amount of money that they have out to cattle feeders, and which is kind of a disadvantage to some of the smaller and mid-sized producers?
I think the reaction, I wouldn't call it a reaction. I think this has been in the pipeline for a number of years. As you well know, we're a provincially regulated program. We have to go through jump hoops. But it would be a program that is going to provide a competitive ability to the feeder members. They don't have to depend on their Schedule I banks, as you said. We don't have to see the members going off to other competitive programs. It provides some cash flow. So it's a multifaceted opportunity, I would say, for feeder associations to ratchet up their businesses and provide an essential service to members, which is a cash flow component that is just so critical in business today.
So for those that aren't familiar with Feeder Associations of Alberta, it's a co-op, is it not?
We have 54 co-ops spread throughout Alberta. And each of the co-ops, of course, are operated independent as businesses. However, they all operate under a provincial set of regulations and an act that provides them the guarantee that they go to their lender to provide extremely competitive financing to their members.
Okay, so is this just to buy? Is this just to feed feeder cattle to fatten them, or can you use these kind of programs for cows, or how does it work, Reg?
The feeder associations is only for feeder cattle and feeder lambs. Interesting to note on the lambs, not as relevant in different areas, but in 2009, feeder associations did 60,000 in lambs in Alberta. In 2009-10, we did 600,000 in feeder lambs, which is really interesting. At the same time, the dollars out in cattle fell by about the same amount. So it was kind of an interesting shift in business for feeder associations. But yes, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. So, with this new program, Reg, are you expecting to see a pretty good growth rate in the amount of feeders that you're financing?
Well, I think regionally it's going to be very, very relevant in the heavier cattle feeding areas. I think we saw an erosion of membership as they went to other competitive programs that did provide that cash flow component, whether you call it a feed advance, or in our case we're calling it an equity draw. It is going to bring back members, I think, in those areas in a big way, simply because we do provide the competitive rates. We don't ask for mortgages or liens against your property and all that stuff. Only the cattle are financed. The other major component is that it's only 5% equity in the cattle to do the financing. So it's all about getting the best deal for the member and providing him with some cash flow to run his business.
So for a lot of the, obviously with Schedule I banks and with competitive programs, feeders have to provide things like financial statements, and you mentioned some of the other things. Is that the case in this regard? Because I know a lot of producers always complain when they have to provide that kind of confidential information.
That's the interesting thing about feeder associations. We've not gone that route or felt that we've had to go that route. I think we are looking at it. I guess the next announcement, without getting too carried away, is going to be an increase in lending limits, which is going to, make us, again, more competitive, more relevant to the larger cattle feeders. And, as those limits go up, you have, multiple partners in a farm where the dollars in a single risk, so as to speak, can add up. But even at this point in time, I mean, we don't see the need for looking at someone's financial statements quite yet. We are doing little things in the background like credit checks and searches to see what's going on in the business. But as of yet, I just don't see the need for financial statements.
Okay, Reg, well, good luck with your new program, and we'll talk to you again soon in the future.
You betcha. Thank you very much, Sean.